We purchased Quack Me Up from Yulen in Winlaw in January of this year, 2016. She had worked so hard at building this really amazing business, and due to family stuff she wasn't able to continue on. And a lot of people were like, oh, I'll buy some incubators or I'll buy some ducks. But you know, when you work so hard to create a little gem, you don't want to just piece it all off. So we got together and we chatted. She showed me the whole operation and we made a deal. And so just before that, like maybe the day before, one of my good friends, Tammy Murphy, who now owns Quack Me Up with me, was saying how she didn't want a tree plant anymore, and how she was thinking about maybe doing a hatchery or something. And I said, oh, perfect, I'm gonna go buy a hatchery tomorrow. Great. So we just did it. We both jumped in feet first, and it's been so much work. Most people don't like to drive across the summit, in the winter, in January, let alone with 360 ducks on the back of a trailer. So it was quite the operation. We had 4 or 5 trucks, and we just loaded everything up and brought it here. Steep learning curve for sure. There's 13 different varieties of ducks. The business includes selling duck eggs, so we grade them and clean them and candle them and sell them as far as Vancouver. Red Light Ramen just opened this spring in Nelson, and they offer duck eggs in all their ramen dishes, which is pretty beautiful. So that's one portion of the business, is the eggs. Other portion is in the spring we do ducklings. So we hatched out about 40 to 70 ducklings per week for a few months straight, which was just chaos. Doing orders, shipping ducklings as far as Abbotsford and Red Deer. We are expanding into Peking duck meat, which is something that wasn't done before we purchased the business, as we do pork and rabbits and goat and sheep and a little bit of turkey and chicken here and there. It just seems natural to add duck to the list of products that we offer, so that's really great. Next year we're expanding into geese, so we've got 2 purebred varieties of geese. We've got White Ebden and Toulouse, both of which are really great dual-purpose birds. Good for the dinner table, also good for breakfast in terms of eggs, because goose eggs is like you make a whole omelet with one goose egg. Duck eggs often freak people out, and to be honest, they freak me out too. I've always had ducks, but it was like maybe 3 years before I could actually fry a duck egg and eat it, because I was freaked out, and I'm so glad I did, because now that's all we eat is duck eggs. The yolk is so rich and velvety, and it's bigger, so you get about 2 chicken eggs per duck egg. And the white's a little bit different, and that's the one thing that threw me off, is that the white is a little more clear than it is white, if you will. So the texture's a little different, but like to make a chocolate cake with a duck egg is just like, the richest, creamiest chocolate cake you could ever have. Duck eggs have half your daily iron intake, so that's really great, like health benefit wise. Also, duck eggs are an alkaline instead of an acid, so anyone dealing with any kind of intestinal issues in terms of digestion or disease, also cancer patients who are on chemo, are not supposed to eat acidic foods. Well, duck eggs are not acidic, so you can still have your eggs for breakfast. Yeah, and they last longer too, because they have a thicker yolk. they have a longer shelf life. So what else should I say about duck eggs? Just how dang good they are.
Yeah.
And they're huge. I mean, there's 2 chicken eggs to 1 duck eggs in terms of size, right? And sometimes we get the double yolkers from the big Peking ducks, and it's, I don't even know how they pull that off. Tammy just texted me the other day and she said, I love being a duck farmer. And I was like, yeah, we totally do. And having the ducks had really given us a shift in how we farm here even, because we've scaled back on a lot of the goats and sheep in order to pasture them with the pasture that we have, and having the ducks pasture, like you can see them out here just quacking around doing what they please. They fertilize the soil. The grass is, we had them in the front yard like some of our smaller ducks, and you can see in the grass where they were because it is so luscious and dark green. So like, one thing that we're really excited about is once we till up the garden, we're going to have all the ducks just go through there, because their little bills sift through the soil and they sift out the weed seeds. So you can lower your weeds in your garden by 33% per year by adding ducks to your rotation in the fall. So we offer every single cut of pork almost imaginable, and the more we can discover new recipes to, you know, we don't have to ship this in from another country. We can have this here. And we have an amazing master butcher in Kimberley that we go to, who, well, was the reason we kind of ventured out this way. When we met Uwe in Kimberley, he was like, well, how do you feed them? You know, how much do you feed them in the morning? What do you feed them? Oh, only once a day. Why don't you try twice a day? And we came up with this plan to make leaner, but like really good quality pork. We changed our whole process, and that's all it took, you know, and he's got a customer for life, I'll tell you what. And we still use a lot of the local butchers for some of our more basic cuts, like pork chops and roast, and some of our lamb. But we do by the half or the whole, or if someone wants to raise their own backyard hogs, we have piglets in the spring. We put through about 120 piglets in the spring, which is pretty awesome. I don't know, I don't get a lot of sleep. But I'm happy, so that's okay.